Good morning. It is the 12th of July, this Thursday. The exports have just come out. We thank you for joining us for our weekly market update brought to you by FiberMax and Stoneville Seed. Let's go straight to these numbers. I've not looked at them yet. Cotton up 121,600 earning bales for 2017-2018. That's an improvement. In recent weeks, we've seen low numbers or negative numbers. Vietnam took 93,500. Turkey took 7,000. China took 5,600. Now, reminder, that's closing out. There's not much cotton that's ever going to show up now going forward in that particular crop year. Let's look at 2018, 2019 net sales of 251,400. It's a good number. Vietnam took 126,900. Guatemala took 48,400. Mexico took 25,400. The actual shipments of 257,400. And that's all we've got on that. Cotton market is firmed up. We were up 98 before this report came out. We're right now up 122 at 85.76. Remember, we had a big down day yesterday, and we're bouncing today. Next, soybeans. Net sales 158,600 metric tons. That's down 62% from the 4-week average. Egypt took 176,000 metric tons. Indonesia took 85,800 metric tons. Taiwan took 68,300 metric tons. Soybeans were up 2.5 before the report. Now they're up 3.25. Corn. Net sales 402,100 metric tons, down 9% from the previous week, down 33% from the 4-week average. South Korea took 195,300 metric tons. Mexico took 159,400 metric tons. Japan took 141,900 metric tons. Corn was up 2.5 before the report. Right now it's at the same level, up 2.5. Wheat. Net sales 136,400 metric tons. That is down 69% from the previous week and the 4-week average. Nigeria took 78,000 metric tons. Philippines took 75,800 metric tons. Guatemala took 34,100 metric tons. Wheat before the report was up 2.75. Right now it is up 2.5, so no real change. Let's talk about what's happened recently in the market and what to expect. The cotton market is really trading, as everyone knows, just like grains, off of the talk of a trade war or a trade agreement. And as that news comes out, the market shifts. Yesterday it was reacting to Trump or this administration announcing another $200 billion worth of goods having tariffs placed on them. That caused the market to really sell off overnight. China did not retaliate, which was out of character. They said that we should talk, and that the market took that as a positive thing. And as I look at the board, everything is up. Now that's the way it's going to be. News like exports and even this crop report, the supply and demand report coming out with the production report at 11 o'clock Central Time this morning. That's a monthly number. It's very important. It's not nearly as important as what happens with trade. You might get a little reaction, but it's doubtful it's going to be anything that can really sustain itself. What do we expect in cotton? Expect with no trade agreement, just continuing a back and forth and negotiation, that cotton in December can trade anywhere from the low 80s to the high 80s. What happens if a trade agreement is announced? It will be announced in time. It's just a matter of when. This cotton market is going to shift up dramatically. The trading range then, I would think, to reflect true fundamentals, will be anywhere from the low 90s to the high 90s. So it's just a matter of getting through what we're in right now before I think this market has to adjust itself up. The question is, when is that going to happen? I don't really have any idea. I don't know that anyone has any idea right now. What about soybeans? Soybeans, what to expect there? it, just like cotton and corn and wheat, are tied to this trade agreement. We could see if we continue to see no agreement, and on top of it, this turns out to be a negative report today. November soybeans that right now are trading at $8.52 could get as low as $8.10. It could approach $8. To the upside, with an agreement, you could rally back toward $9.60, a really good rally. Corn, December corn right now is trading at $3.55.5. That market could get as low as $3.40. On the other hand, with an agreement, it could move back toward $3.90, $3.95. Wheat, this is September. Right now, September wheat's trading at $4.74.5. That market could see a low or a sell-off toward $4.45, and the upside could be up toward $5.20. Let's talk about the report coming out today for supply and demand and for production. Expectations are for the number in cotton as we look at the surveys among experts. They're guessing, the average guess is 19.6 million bales. Last month it was 19.5. Traditionally, we don't change this number much, although in 2011 we did, to reflect a very bad crop. That was out of character. Can this happen again? I kind of don't think so. I think they'll play it safe here and not change it much. Looking for ending stocks to be 4.78 million bales. Last month it was 4.7. So increasing carryout, increasing the size of the crop is what experts are thinking. I'll just read this comment on grain and oilseeds. It says, while corn is starting to pollinate and soybeans are blooming, Thursday's World Agricultural Supply and Demand Estimate report is apt to show higher USDA estimates for new crop ending stocks, for new crop ending U.S. stocks of corn and soybeans, but a modest reduction in ending stocks of world wheat. And that will, of course, come out at 11 o'clock. One last look at these markets. Cotton up 121 at 85.75, so it's up about 23 higher than it was before this export report came out that was considered, it appears, positive. November soybeans up 3.5. That's a penny higher than it was, so it's liking this number that came out. December corn up 2.5. That's exactly where it was before the report. September wheat up 3, and that is just slightly higher than it was. That's it. Thanks for being with us for this edition of our weekly market report brought to you by FiberMax and Stoneville Seed. We'll see you later.